Well, hello there. It's week 15 as your state representative. My life as your state representative, and I'm here in the building today. I'm a little casual. Might as well give you the full, I'm jeans and, it's casual Friday. Because once again, there's no floor session on Friday, which means no meetings, which means, some people have meetings, some people have committees, some people have commitments today, but not very many. And when you don't have the floor sessions, so nothing to vote on, there's not a whole lot to do. So lunch was a banana. Well, I'm going to have 2 bananas. And you don't want to hear about that. This week, week 15. 15 weeks of the legislative session. Amazing. It literally has ripped by, and so much going on. Let me dwell on positive for a little while. A couple of things happened this week that I think were pretty cool, and I'm going to look down at my screen so that I can look at a couple of things to tell you about. So one of the things that I was pretty excited about this week that happened was that my first bill that I wrote, and that I had something to do with, which was House Bill 2969, which would allow food and drink again in the exempted cigar shops, which greatly affects, if you're a listener to my show, if you listen to my old radio show, you know that my best sponsor was Sadi Hadid at Abba Cigars and Wine. So really it was a bill to help him. It does help some other businesses too, but specifically it was really for him. And after passing the House, after passing the Senate, the governor signed it into law. And I'm going to say this, you can have your thoughts about her politically, whatever you might think of her, good, bad, whatever. I'm not here to debate that today, and I don't do that in these videos. What I am here to tell you is she is genuinely a very nice person. And one of the things that I thought was pretty cool was when Betsy, my chief of staff, called over to the governor's office to ask, hey, when you signed the bill, is it possible that Representative Post could be there? Not only did she say yes, he could be there, but she did something that she doesn't do for every single bill. There's ceremonial signings, and then there's just the official sign it, and it's becomes law. She said, I believe the exact words were this: tell Representative Post we'll pull out all the bells and whistles for him. And she really did. And if you follow my Facebook page or my website, billpost.us, or like I said, Facebook, Bill Post for Oregon, you can see the picture of she and I, and she's holding up the bill, and it is now law. Because though I'm not a big fan of the emergency clause, we did have the emergency clause on this bill, and I'll explain to you why. Because I think this is a good reason. Which, by the way, step back a little bit, I've signed on to a resolution that Representative Bill Kennemer has put together that would require, if you're going to do an emergency clause, you have to explain why you're doing the emergency clause. And so if somebody said, Bill, why did you do an emergency clause on House Bill 2969, my reasoning would be this: so that Sadi could take his signs down immediately. Because an emergency clause says that this law goes into effect immediately upon passage. And the question that I thought when we first wrote the bill was, well, if we go with the normal bill, it would not take effect until January 1st of 2016. Do I want Abba Cigars and Wine and the other shops that it affects to have to leave their no food drink signs up for the rest of the year? No, I want them down now. And if the governor is willing to sign that into law, then that's what I wanted. And by golly, she did. So not only did she sign the bill and it became law immediately, she gave me her ceremonial pen. Here's the pen. And eventually I'm going to get a parchment copy of the bill as my first bill that I've ever had turned into a law, and this pen will be inside of it. This is the pen she used to sign it into law, and it is now law. And if you go to Abba Cigars and Wine tomorrow, take your cup of coffee in, take your sandwich in, or any of the other certified smoke shops, cigar shops in Oregon, because it's now law. I did something for a business. I have to tell you, I'm not trying to be prideful here, but it was a pretty cool deal to see that happen. It became law, and immediately that night Sadi was able to take the signs down, and customers were able to walk in, and employees were able to eat their lunch or their dinner it was a big deal. So that was by far the highlight of my week. But a couple other things that I wanted to tell you about was, let's see. Oh, some of the things that go on in this building. So this building is crazy. It really is. The Capitol. Over there, trust me, it's over there, is where the Rotunda is. The big Rotunda that goes up to the Gold Man up above. Every day, there's always somebody here protesting something. Well, yesterday, was it yesterday? Thursday. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Was pretty funny because the revenue forecast came out, and we found out that there's going to be $478 million approximately for kicker, which means we all get about $248 back. And by the way, since it won't be a check anymore, it'll be on your taxes. So if you owe $200, you're going to get back $48. Anyway, the point is, this kicker's going to kick. So all these college students were here, or people who allegedly were college students were here the other day, and they were protesting that they wanted the kicker money for college tuition. And then they laid down on the floor in front of the Senate offices, and you couldn't get through. And so eventually the state police arrested 10 of them. At the same time on that day, there was Native Americans here that were pounding drums and chanting and singing, which in that rotunda, of course, then turns it into an automatic loudspeaker system throughout the whole entire building. If you go to Senator Kim Thatcher's Facebook page, she has a recording from her phone that she took from the Senate. I mean, it was that loud. On top of that, it was Armed Forces Day, so there were great big howitzers, a howitzer going off out there, and airplanes flying over, and military. And people walking through the hallways, chanting, beating drums. It was crazy. You can't get anything done. So when people say, what's your life as a state representative? Sometimes it's just trying to get through the din of noise in this place. That's what makes today a day like today, where there was no floor session, though I would much rather be working. It was kind of nice to have a quiet day here to just read papers, read bills, read emails, answer emails, do some other things that I don't normally have time for. The other thing that I have to tell you that was kind of cool, but started off as a bad day, again, talking about yesterday, Thursday, my CHL Reciprocity bill, House Bill 3093, just a clean, really good bill that would allow us to recognize concealed handgun licenses from other states. Now, is it the perfect bill? No. It doesn't have everything that I want as a gun guy. If it had everything I want, it would be that there's no CHLs required, that we'd have, you could carry any time. But I understand, and I want to work with people. And so I think we came up with a really good CHL reciprocity bill, where if your state meets the same requirements as Oregon's requirements, then you would be able to carry in Oregon and utilize your CHL. So we got that all amended. It passed the House floor 57-1, only one no vote. It went to the Senate Judiciary Committee, where it got not gut and stuffed, but it got stuffed with some other bills. So it's still in the bill, but there's other stuff. Now, I've also heard rumor that they may take the other stuff out, and it may go back to just being CHL. I don't know what's going on with my bill right now. So if you can imagine, yesterday I was a tad grumpy. Okay, I'll just say it. I'll be truthful. I was really pissed off, and I was in a really bad mood yesterday. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, some college kids stopped by, and they brought these sort of like baseball cards. Now here, I'll show you. It looks like this. So here's Representative Mike McLean's card. And you can see, I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can get this up here. It says what season they are. So in other words, how many years they've been here. So see, his says 4th season. Well, mine says rookie card. Okay, so these are trading cards, like baseball cards, but they're legislators plus the executive branch. So you had the governor, the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, the Treasurer. You had all the executive positions, right? Boley, the commissioner. And so what was happening was, here I was, really, really, really grouchy, really angry, mad about everything that was going on, just ticked off. And they brought by a batch of these cards with a bubblegum stick in it. And I was like, what are these for? And apparently it's an old tradition, and you go around and you trade cards for the cards you want. you put together a set of some sort, just like baseball cards. When I was a kid, you wanted to put together, I always wanted to put together the Dodgers set for every year. So some people were putting together the all Democrats, some people were putting together the all Republicans, some people were putting together, you know, all the leadership, whatever it might be. So Garrett was here, Garrett Wolford, my legislative assistant, and I said, what should we do? And we said, why don't we do the House Judiciary Committee that I sit on? Cool. So I went around the building. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm wasting valuable taxpayer dollars, but I needed a diversion, and this was a diversion. I took my cards, my little stack of cards, and I went around and I traded cards until I got, and I'll show it to you. I'm going to take you over here. Can you see that? There is the House Judiciary Committee. I got them all. There's Brent Barton, Wayne Krieger, Mitch Greenlick, Jennifer Williamson, Jeff Barker, Andy Olson, Sherry Springer, Ann Leininger, and yours truly. There's the Bill Post rookie card. Okay, so that's what I did. I went around the building, horse trading, legislative trading cards, until I found my entire set, and I have left one extra, Mike McLean. So if anybody would like a Mike McLean, it's going to cost you. That's my life as a state representative. Oh my goodness. Oh, to my little boy, I want to say a special hi to Kai. He just finished his first year of college. He just had his last finals, and I'm proud of him. And I love him. Okay, that's enough for this week. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week, week 16. Crazy.